Tuesday, my coin was forgiveness. So I went back to my room and I started to journal at night. I started to journal and I started to write down all the people that I feel hurt me. And I started to forgive. I just started to forgive all these people, just kind of let all this out, just forgive all these people. And I went to sleep that night feeling assured that I did the right thing, that I forgave these people, even though they hurt me. And for whatever reason, you know, as a child, as an adult, or did me wrong in the business, whatever it was, I just forgave people in general. The next day is Wednesday. We're doing, I forgot which meditation we're doing. We're opening up our heart, right? Yeah. So we're opening up our heart. I'm opening up my heart and I'm working really, 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 really hard. And one of the team leaders comes behind me. Her name is Sue Lundquist. And I guess she could tell that my body was really starting to become very electrical, right? And she comes behind me as I'm opening up my heart and I feel something in my chest. I'm like, what is this coming out of my chest right now? I mean, Joe talks about the pedals, pedal by pedal, you're going to open up your heart. And I'm like, what is coming out of my fourth energy center? This is huge. Mm-hmm. And she comes behind me. I feel this presence. And she later tells me that, Silvio, I opened up my heart to you. And when she did that, my heart opened up and I had literally had what they call like a heart orgasm. I felt very profound bliss. I mean, it's hard to put in words. I just felt love, man. All I want to do is just love people. I was so happy. I was so excited. I was like, I don't want this to end. Whatever this feeling is, whatever you did to me, let's keep this going, right? So the heart meditation ends. We end up doing another meditation. Then we lie on the ground. And when we lie on the ground, I forget what meditation we're doing, so don't quote me on that. But outside the room, I hear this lady laugh. So that I reciprocate that with a massive, just a feeling of just gratitude, love, happiness, you know, all those good feelings that he talks about. And as I was doing that, I couldn't stop laughing. When everyone would settle down, I couldn't stop laughing. Well, because it was such an elevated emotion, it started to push the energy all the way up into my throat. So my group was slated to, they were scheduled to do the challenge. So they had turned the light on, and when they turned the light on, my body started to release energy. I mean, it was energy in my autonomic nervous system, and it started to move very aggressively. And I didn't know what was going on. And one of the team leaders came over, Sue Lundquist again, and she's like, stay on the ground. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to stay on the ground, but I have to go to this challenge with my brothers, right? This is my brothers. We have to do this challenge together, right? So I'm like, okay, I'm going to be okay. I stand up. I'm pretty out of it. I'm very disoriented. And Sue tries to keep me basically in the ballroom. And I don't want to say I refuse. I'm like, I brush it off. I'm going to be okay. I pick my bag up. I pick all my belongings up, right? I'm walking out the door. I would say not even 20 seconds later, I feel something up my spine climbing. It's what they call the prana tube, right? It's that yogi tube going up my back, and it's climbing up my back. And I'm like, what is going on with my back? And the energy was so powerful in my body. I collapsed on the ground. I collapsed on the ground and I'm shaking. And all I could think about is, oh my God, there's 1,000 people in that room. And here I am with this persona. I don't want to look like I'm like some wimpy guy, like I'm like, listen, something's going on. Like, get me inside somewhere. So I kind of get up and I try to walk about 10 more feet and I collapse again. I end up hitting my head on the ground. And basically what happened for probably about a good hour and 45 minutes was that I was transmuting energy, right? So as I fell on the ground, one of the team leaders came up, grabbed the pillow, put it on my head, and I'm shaking. I mean, my body is moving so erratic. There's no other word. It was just moving in almost like yoga poses, and I don't do yoga. At the time, I didn't do yoga. I'm moving in crazy, weird ways that Joe said that when the energy has to move, the energy has to move, and it was moving like a freight train through my body. I mean, through my body, I'm like, what the heck is going on here? This is crazy. And I was aware, but my body took on a mind of its own. And so one of the biggest things that Joe brings is he teaches his team leaders how to deal with that type of situation. And Sue was so experienced and so well trained and equipped to handle me. She was able to hold space, is what they call it, right? Provide an environment of love, make you feel safe, that you can continue to move this energy, because once it gets past your fourth chakra, it's going to move, man. Or your third energy center, right? It's going to move. And from my childhood and the bodybuilding and all the aggression and the leadership that I've had to endure in different professional environments, and just the plain out competition, aggression, the suppressed emotions, this was all coming out. And it was coming out like a freight train. I mean, it was coming out. There's really no words to describe. I wish I had a picture, or not a picture, a video to say this is what happened, because it was that profound. So I'm moving, I'm doing all types of crazy things, and the energy was coming up. Joe says you transmute emotions. So I literally saw myself as a child. I saw myself as a 5-year-old, or like a baby. I saw myself as a baby coming out. I saw myself as a 5-year-old. I saw myself as an 8-year-old. I saw myself as a 10-year-old. Any situation that ever happened to me that was negative, I saw it coming up. You know, inadequacies, unworthiness, embarrassed, ashamed, guilt. All these things were just coming out of my body, and it was literally transmuting. But when it was transmuting, I could literally see, I could feel the emotion, but I could see the image in my mind's eye.
Yeah.
It sounds crazy, but it's real.
Yeah.
And I can see all these images coming up. And it was very exhausting, man. I was so tired. I was so exhausted. And I didn't want to keep going. There was a point where I was like, Sue, do I have to keep going? You know, she's like, just you're safe. You're worthy of this, you know, because my ego was like, calm down. You're in control. But really, I was not in control, man. I mean, I was not, the energy was moving out. This is divine timing. This was divine intervention, because I believe I was working so hard leading up to the event that it had to happen for me. You know, I really believed that it had to happen for me. I was meditating 3 hours a day, man. Come on, 7 days a week meditating. About an hour and 45 minutes, I'm transmuting. And while I'm moving, my body's also moving like what they call the double helix, like in a snake, like my body was moving. It was just moving energy up. And so when the last bit of energy from that episode left, I felt this overwhelming sense of safety, clarity, and calmness. I was so calm. I didn't know who I was. I was like, what is this? Why am I so calm? Like, I didn't realize how much energy was stuck in my body, how much emotion was stuck in my body. I had no clue. I just thought this is the way I was. I was just kind of like a high tense. I love people, but I was always like the guy that would be like, just 100 miles an hour, just fight my way, push myself to the front of the line. That was me. And from that point on, it created such a calming climate inside my soul, in my body, that I've never been the same since. And the next day we did the first walking meditation. That was so profound. That was, when I say so profound, that was so profound, because when we got to the point where we had to lay down, actually, I don't even think I was at the point to lay down. My body was still so electrical from the day before, right? That Sue was following me, and she said, lay down. And here's the trippy part. I didn't grow up very religious. As I'm about to kneel down, I see a appear like a Christ consciousness crown in a vision coming up in my mind's eye. And I take the blindfold off. I'm like, am I seeing something? And I see it clear as day as the sun is coming up and the rays are coming at me, right? Just check this out. I lay back, my arms open up, and I'm starting to shake. I mean, the energy starting to move. I thought I was done. I thought I had that full energy, Kundalini release. I'm like, not again, not again. And so I lay down, and my feet are straight out. I'm just in that kind of like a crucifix. And my hands feel like fire. They feel like electrical. And my hands start to come together, and I don't know what's happening. And I'm like, what am I doing? This is not me. And I go in and I hug myself and I scream, I love you. I love you like I never loved myself. No matter how much money I had, no matter how much six-pack, no matter how much validation I got, no matter graduating top of my class, cum laude, none of that stuff mattered. They never made me feel enough, and they never made me feel worthy, because how I was raised and how I would frame every situation in life is if it wasn't perfect, then you're not good. If it's not perfect 100%, and if I got 100%, well, guess what? The next thing had to be 100%. I had to be perfect. This is the first time I felt that weight lifted from the day before. And when I hugged myself, man, it was so profound. It was a deep love. It was a love I never felt in my life. In my life. And I'm married. It was a love that was, you're okay, man. I got you. You know, I got you. And I held myself and I hugged myself. And I will never forget that day. And, you know, from that point on, it's just been very, it's been very peaceful, but yet it's been very eye-opening, because I come back to reintegrate into life, and a lot of the things that I was doing, even my career, it's not serving my higher self, man. You know, because all I want to do is really be a conduit for the people. All I want to do is help people. All I want to do is tell people, listen, I'm the living example. I've been there, man. Trust me, I've been there. Once you get the body, you know, I'm telling you, you're not going to feel fulfilled. You have to feel fulfilled inside. It starts inside. It starts in your belief system. You have to believe it. You have to believe it here. When you believe it, then it's going to happen for you. But you got to do the work. It's not going to fall in your lap, man. So for me, it's been such a, just a revelation, you know, more than anything, that, wow, everything I was pursuing in life up until 36 years old, I mean, everything, my entire trajectory in life, my goals, my aspirations, everything I wanted and thought would fulfill me, fill my cup up, it kind of has gone to the wayside, you know. And at this point, I'm really discovering who I am as a person, because that was so profound, because I saw what I actually embodied. Before this event, I couldn't tell my team members, which is an all-male group, that Silvio, they look up to me. They're looking at me here. I'm this, you know, guy who has muscles, and I got a shaved head, and I'm in the prior military. All these things, they look at me as as like a warrior. And sure, in a sense, I am a warrior, but warriors lead with their heart. Leaders lead with their heart. It starts in your heart. That's how people empathize with you. That's how people can understand you when it's genuine. And it all starts here. It doesn't start in your lower centers. It doesn't start with aggression. The minute you become aggressive, people are already putting up their wall. You can be very strong, very powerful when you lead with your heart. And you look at somebody and you see yourself in them. And when you see yourself in another man or another woman, now you're powerful, because now they can feel that. And that's power versus force. You're not forcing it anymore. You're not trying to force it in. You're loving it in. You're loving it in. What's meant to be is meant to be, because what you resist persists. So you want to embody that love. And that's when Joe really, it really hit home with me afterwards, when he said, you know, you manifest from the heart. Because now I'm very cautious on what I want to entertain, because everything I want is starting to come to me very fast. I'm like, I'm seeing these serendipities and synchronicities. I'm like, whoa. Because I'm not charged. Because the minute I put my intention on my heart, and when I say my intention, I'm thinking about it, I'm visualizing, or I'm sensing it, right? Not visualizing, but I'm feeling it with my heart, with those elevated emotions, and things are coming at me very fast. In the beginning, sitting for an hour and 15 minutes was very difficult. My body was, like you said, the untamed animal. It didn't want to sit, man. I mean, my body, an hour and 50, Silvio, you got to get up, you got to go to the gym, you got to go pump some iron, man. What are you talking about? 4:30 in the morning, go sit in a chair in the closet in the dark and sit there and get into the field, you know? But once you, like you said, once your parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system merge, your body just acquiesces. You become very calm. And so now I'm able to sit, I can sit for 2-3 hours meditating and not even move. But I trained myself. And bodybuilding, to be honest, this was my journey in life, because bodybuilding afforded me the discipline, you know, always structured working out, structured cardio, structured meal plan. I just took all that hard work that I was already accustomed to and said, okay, I have a different end goal now. My goal is to pull the mind out of the body. My goal is to manifest abundance in every aspect, not just monetary, relationships, health. That's real abundance. Abundance is your health, man. It's your loved ones. It's the people you come in contact with. Right? You're going to, you know, you could be sick and miserable and depressed with your Lamborghini and your mansion. How happy are you? I mean, really put yourself there, live it, close your eyes and put yourself there. You're not going to be that happy. You might think so now if you're living from a scarcity mindset, but once you get it, that's only a drop in the bucket, man. You got to work inside. And once you feel centered, once these are all aligned, it's a different world out there. Now you're seeing life through a different lens. Now you're like, oh my God, this really existed? This has always been? Yeah, it's always been. You know, but for me, I was just through a tunnel vision. It was just, I mean, it was like a laser beam. I had that convergent focus, right? So Joe taught me the divergent focus, how to open up my focus. And I use a walking meditation just in day-to-day life, right? I'm walking, I'm in a meditative state half the time. I'm not putting my focus on anything. And I can see how people receive me. It's just I'm unfaded. I feel untouched, you know, utilizing his tools. I mean, for me, breaking the habit of being yourself, that's a framework, and then becoming supernatural just it just ups the ante. It just gets to the point where like, is this real? Because you're becoming supernatural. You're doing things that we were taught were fake. It was a fallacy. It's just something that it's in the movies only, right? You know,
Yeah,
some yogi 1,000 years ago was doing this, and oh man, that's fake. Man. No, it's real. It's real. And when you actually strike, when you start to move that energy and you start to pull the mind out of the body, um, you'll see how real it really is. So I would say honestly, just priming yourself, just dedicating one time a day, 30 to 45 minutes. Don't do 10 minutes. Go all in. 30 to 45 minutes a day meditating. I still have challenges. I still have kids, right? I have a 10 and 11-year-old. You're still going to have challenges in life, but you're better equipped to deal with the challenges in life. And now you can focus your mind and your emotions on, what do I want to manifest in life? Not just random, but what do I really want to manifest? Where am I going to put all my energy, man, and my emotion? This is what I want. And now you start to concatenate that vision with those elevated emotions. And now, listen, life is coming at you fast. But just like anything else in life, everything, just like going to school, just like riding a bike, just like learning how to surf or climbing, rock climbing, you have to be persistent and you have to be consistent more than anything. You have to know what you want and you have to have a big reason why you're doing it. But the consistency will build a model in your mind. And the more you learn, the more you read, like Joe said, the more you build those neural networks, the more you're going to be able to actually see what you're doing. And when you can see what you're doing and why you're doing it, it's you're gonna be able to you're gonna be able to sustain that momentum. So my biggest thing is just do the work. Don't question it. Just do the work. I'm living proof. I'm living proof, and I'm still working at it. But it was a massive, a tectonic shift in my life happened.